Hello and welcome back to your South King County Real Estate Update. It is a very special episode because it is our third birthday of the show. So I'll go ahead and get right on into these slides. So today is April 21st, 2023, and let's find out what happened this week. It is our third birthday episode. I guess this crown's a little tall. For our show, and I am so excited to celebrate. It has been an absolute joy to do this show for 3 whole years. I can't believe that it has been that long. And I'm just so thankful to everybody that has watched the show. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. But yes, I truly mean it. Thank you so much for 3 amazing years of this show. We've covered so much. It started through the pandemic. I started the show right at the beginning of the stay-at-home orders, just to kind of keep people informed about what was going on in the real estate industry during the COVID times. And that was how it started. And it has been super fun to keep going and deliver the news to you every week. So we'll go ahead and jump right back on into these slides and get going. So just a quick note for Seattle sports. The Kraken have their game 3 against the Avalanche tomorrow at 7. And they'll be taking them on again Monday at 7. So they are 1-1. They've played 2 games. So game 3 is tomorrow. And hopefully the Kraken can lock it down so they keep heading on to the Stanley Cup. Into the real estate news, U.S. home sales fell in March in tepid home buying season start. This is a national article, so keep that in mind. Spring home buying season is off to a little bit slower start than other years, but there's some good reason for that. U.S. home sales fell 2.4% last month from February, so February to March. They fell 2.4% for existing homes, that's excluding new construction. Sales slumped 22% from March of last year, so we're just seeing way fewer sales right now. Overall, median homes prices nationally dropped 0.9% from March of last year, the biggest annual decline since 2012. That is potentially good news for home buyers, but those interest rates are remaining a little bit more stubborn, bringing the cost of purchasing a home up. 28% of homes purchased last month sold for more than list price. This is due to the low inventory. So there's very little inventory on the market. The people that are out there buying homes right now are competing over a very limited supply of homes. The best presented and priced homes, we are seeing bidding wars. So we are back to our spring buying season, just with way fewer homes on the market and way fewer buyers. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a boost of inventory so we can have a few more buyers enter the market and have something to actually look at. Inventory of homes for sale has not yet returned to pre-pandemic levels, despite the fact that we do have more homes on the market now than we did this time last year. But if we compare it to March of 2019, our inventory is down 41%. So there is very little on the market right now. As far as home price appreciation, this is year over year, and these are numbers that came out in January. Unfortunately, that's the most recent I can get for this specific chart here. Seattle in January, home prices were down 5.1% year over year. Decline, and you can see all of the declines are on the West Coast. Declines in the West are due to the tech industry slowdown and a severe lack of affordability after decades of undersupply. So we just have way too few homes here. We need more supply. Plus, our tech industry is one of the driving forces in this region, and they are having a little bit of a slowdown. I'm sure you've heard of all the Amazon and Google layoffs and all that. So that is definitely affecting the Seattle area, but not as significantly as some people had predicted. And if we look at the Pacific, year over year price appreciation in January was about 0. And home price movement, this is month over month for January. So this is December to January. Seattle was down 1.5%. We're down 0.2% overall for the nation. But if we look at the changes of home values month over month going back for the past year, we had a lot of appreciation in January, February, March, and that started to decrease. And then July is where we saw that turn of depreciation. And that has pretty much peaked August, September, October, and it has been getting less intense as we head towards the new year. And if we look at our current home values, this is month over month by region, down 0.6% in January. But if we look at more recent, we have popped up again. So this is, the red is Renton, the green is Seattle, and the black is for all of King County for median home sales price. And we've ticked up everywhere. Seattle's a little bit more flat, but overall, we have ticked up from February to March. So these January numbers, if you start seeing these in the news, they're old news. And we are making our little bit of a comeback now. So heading into the spring season with increasing prices as we would expect to see this time of year. Seattle area millennials are buying homes, just not in King County. I just thought this one was pretty interesting. The oldest millennials are reaching their 40s now, entering their 40s. We have seen less of a percentage of homeowners in this age group. There were 322 households in 2021. 62% of those were rented and 38% were homeowners. But if we look at the other counties, King, 62% are renters, 38% homeowners in that age group. If we look to Pierce County, it's 50-50, and Snohomish County, it's even more, 56% to 43.5%. Very different from previous generations. If we go back to 1980, 57% of King County households headed by a 25 to 40-year-old were owned and just 43 were rented. And we have really changed that dichotomy now. But we're seeing Snohomish and Pierce County higher rates of millennial home ownership. And I don't know, that's just really cool to see that we are having this age group enter the home ownership years and finally purchase a little bit later than previous generations. But it's good to see that this is a trend that's happening, even if they have to move a little bit further out from where they grew up or where their family is. And that brings us to our Market Stat Minute. We had 763 new listings in King County in the last 7 days, 746 pending, and 552 sold. So we do have more new listings coming to the market than pendings. So this is great to see. This means that we are increasing our inventory overall. Kent, Auburn, and Federal Way all had more pendings than new listings, but Renton, coming in the lead on new listings here, did outpace their pendings. So maybe if you're looking to purchase a home, Renton may have a few more options for you compared to these other areas. And last time we met, the weekly average mortgage rate was 6.26 and our daily was 6.34. This week, 30-year climbs to 6.39 after 5 weeks of decreasing interest rates. We are back ticking up again, just ever so slightly on our weekly average. And for our daily rate, it is 6.66%. Down slightly from yesterday, but we had a very volatile week. Here you can see this giant hike up. The weekly average reports on Mondays, Monday, Tuesday-ish. So that is kind of around this area. And then we just jumped up over the 6.5% and have come down a little bit in the last couple of days. And what does that mean for our market? This chart is from earlier this month, but it shows the demand at different interest rate levels. So if we are seeing rates above 6.5%, that means we are at a limited buyer demand. So the 6.66 of today would pop us into that limited buyer demand. But overall, we do expect with some volatility to trend down overall throughout the year on interest rates. So we should head back into this good section of interest rates pretty quickly, I should assume. But what does this all mean for affordability? Affordability is a huge part of the housing market because people can't afford homes and no one can buy homes. But overall, we have seen a decrease in affordability since 2021. We've seen this ticking down, and the lower this goes here, the harder it is to own a home. but we are headed in the right direction. It is becoming easier as we see these interest rates start to drop again. We have had a little bit of price decline, although we're headed back in that upward direction. So there are three portions to affordability. There's home prices, the mortgage rates, and wages. If we look at affordability over a long period of time, we are at historic lows. We truly are. It is harder to buy a home now than it was a few years ago. The orange here was the distressed property market. Those homes had decreased in price a lot. Interest rates went down 2009 to 2015. It was much easier to buy a home during the distressed home period. Now, with the higher interest rates and inflation, it's just become a little bit harder, but you can see we are ticking closer to more affordable ever so slightly. And if we break it down even further into our monthly affordability, you can see it's been ticking down since January of 22. Since October, homes have started to become more affordable based on price, wages, and interest rates. Monthly mortgage payments, these are national. So this is based on the $340-something thousand average home. The average amount of money that is needed to cover your mortgage is decreasing. So that is on the right path, although these would be, for the vast majority of properties, would be significantly more in our area. And that mortgage payment to income ratio, this is just another way to show that ideally, people wouldn't want to spend more than 25% of their income on their mortgage. And we did pop up above that line on the averages in the fall. And now we have ticked back below that 25% line, although just barely. And we should see homes becoming more affordable heading throughout this year. Even if prices go up a little bit, we'll see those interest rates come down and hopefully wages increase and have homes become more affordable heading forward. So just one last little plug. If you want a Mariners schedule, let me know. I'll get that out to you, or a spring buyer or seller guide. I have spring buyer guides, spring seller guides. They are packed full of information. So if you are thinking about making a move this year, I really highly recommend you get your copy. Education is so important heading into a home buying market like this. If you're thinking about selling, gives you some tips on how to prepare your home, different ways to make that transition, and just tons of great info here. And we do have that coloring contest going on until April 30th. There's 4 different categories, and they've added special needs this year. So that is all ages, but 4 to 7, 8 to 12, 13 to 18, and then the special needs category. There's a $250 Amazon gift card winner in each of those categories. So make sure to get your kids entered. And big news. This is a big update. South King County real estate update. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I've loved doing it, but it's time to make some changes. So we are scaling back on this show. It'll take place on the second Friday of each month, scaling back from weekly to once a month and increasing the amount of other content available. So I'm planning on still doing news article updates, just more of them in a shorter format so I can get the information to you quicker as it's more relevant and hopefully help more people. So there's going to be real estate news, stats, tips, and, a little humor thrown into there too. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My phone number and email address are on the screen there. I'd love to have a conversation with you about the real estate market in your area or an area you are interested in. Hopefully you will continue to watch this show, even though it's not weekly anymore. I will be back here once a month, every second Friday, to deliver your local real estate news, plus a bunch of shorter form info videos thrown in there. So make sure to follow me on whatever platform: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. I'm on TikTok now. So if you have favorite social media, make sure to follow me on there so that you continue to get this ultra relevant information, even if it's more often in shorter form. Thank you so much for three years of this amazing show. So excited to bring you this news every week and now heading forward every month. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a fantastic week. See you next time.